Yesterday, Sherlock began its 4th season on the BBC with the episode The Six Thatchers, and as myself and 8.1 million others sat down to enjoy the return of Cumberbatch and Freeman, I thought to myself, why outside of the original stories, a character and world as excellent and well developed as Sherlock had failed to resonate with me before the introduction of this series? I mean, even the recent big budget Hollywood offering had failed to wow me. The elements were all there, same characters, same mysteries, but for some reason it wasn't until Stephen Moffat and Mark Gatiss and the BBC came together to give us the Sherlock we all know and love that I truly found myself enthralled with the character. So I thought I'd quickly take a look at some of the reasons why this incarnation of Sherlock is probably the best we've ever seen. Sorry, Elementary. The first thing I think we should probably talk about is the casting. Benedict Cumberbatch has gone on to play iconic characters across film and TV, such as Marvel's Sorcerer Supreme Doctor Strange and Khan from the Star Trek franchise. But in 100 years, when the scholars all gather to look back on his body of work, I imagine it'll be Sherlock that he is most associated with. This is because Cumberbatch manages to successfully play up the alien quality of Sherlock Holmes to a degree beyond mere intellect and having an antisocial nature. His heightened misanthropy and disregard for anything but the game, as he calls it, firmly puts him in the realm of the superhero. You see, Sherlock is Batman. We're told that both of these two detectives are, for all intents and purposes, human, and that they rely on their remarkable intellect and considerable martial skills, in Batman's case you can add wealth and gadgetry, to overcome their obstacles. This, of course, is nonsense. Sherlock and Batman are not human. These people could never exist, and there is no point trying to disguise that fact. And so what Cumberbatch does so well is simply play up to this in a way that borders on the fantastical. Yet, in the brief glimpses that he exhibits his humanity, he does so in a wonderfully juvenile fashion, with insults and tantrums that one might attribute to a petulant child. And therein lies the character's humanity. We can only watch in awe as he demonstrates his superhuman intellect, but when his childish nature reveals itself, we're able to bring him down to our level and both judge and relate to him accordingly. This allows Martin Freeman's Watson to be so much more than just a framing device for the viewer, where traditionally he would have been used as no more than a traditional everyman for us to relate to. He is now freed up to be so much more. Sure, his character is still used as a method of exhibiting awe at Sherlock's incredible powers of deductive reasoning, but Freeman's Watson is his own beast entirely, accomplished, capable, and like Sherlock, deeply flawed. Freeman practically made a career for himself interpreting cynicism in his role as Tim in The Office, and he brings a lot of that sensibility to his role as Watson, and just as much of the empathy that made Tim, and hell, even Bilbo Baggins, not just relatable, but intriguing. This allows his dynamic with Cumberbatch to shine, and is why their particular back and forth works so well. These two, along with a standout supporting cast such as Andrew Scott's over-the-top yet thrilling portrayal of the villainous Moriarty and Mark Gatiss himself as Sherlock's antagonizing brother Mycroft, result in a cast of characters you won't soon forget. Another brilliant decision that the showrunners made was the inspired choice to bring the character and his adventures forward by a century and root them in contemporary times. You see, as somebody who has lived in the city of London all his life, I can attest to the fact that for all its technological evolution and burgeoning multicultural inclusion, the city of London has a soul that is unchanging and undying. It's something that lives and breathes through its architecture and even its weather. It's why I can watch a rendition of A Christmas Carol or play a video game like Assassin's Creed Syndicate and feel immediately at home. So by updating the world of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, Stephen Moffat and Mark Gatiss lost nothing and gained everything in their adaptation. They could now appeal to a wider audience more familiar with the contemporary urban landscape of a major world city and still retain the essence of what made London as much a character of Doyle's original stories as Sherlock himself. And of course, we can't talk about what makes this incarnation of Sherlock superior without talking about the writing. It really is just such a well-written show. The dialogue and character interactions, the clever updates made to Doyle's original mysteries that would typically render them inert in a world of iPhones and Twitter, all of it. The show manages to embrace everything that made Sherlock Holmes the staple of fiction that he is today, and yet tweak it just enough to amplify it so that it resonates with an entirely new generation. This is why Sherlock is the best adaptation of the literature to date. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to hit that like button down below if you enjoyed the content and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. I've been Dominic and I'll see you again soon. Bye.